When we say propellants, we're really talking about what most people refer to as the black powder. However, while black powder is certainly a propellant, technically, all propellants are not black powder. There are, in fact, many different types of muzzleloading propellants on the market today. And Chad and I will review the most popular ones right now.
O'Neill, let's start with the original muzzleloading propellant, real black powder. Now, if you're a traditionalist and you want to do it just like the old timers did, this is the way to go. Real black powder comes in several different granulations, but the 2F granulation should be used in all rifles 45 caliber and above. 3F is for rifles 44 caliber and below. And 4F, which is a much finer granulation, is only used for priming the pan of a flintlock rifle. If you buy real black powder, make sure that you never get the 4F mixed up with your main charge powders, as using 4F as a main charge will create unsafe pressures in your gun.
This next grouping of propellants is known by the brand name of Pyrodex. Pyrodex is a black powder substitute. Now, most shooters today use such substitutes instead of real black powder for several reasons. One being that it is a little easier to clean, and another being that it is much easier to find, as it does not fall under the same explosives regulations as does real black powder. There are three types of Pyrodex powders: P, RS, and Select. P is just for pistols, so if you're loading a rifle, P's not for you. RS is the most commonly used Pyrodex powder. The RS stands for rifle shotgun. Select is also for rifles and shotguns, but it is simply a more consistent granulation than is RS. If you're striving for maximum accuracy, Select is a good choice.
Here's a propellant that changed the world for a lot of shooters. Pyrodex pellets are a pelletized form of Pyrodex powder. The big advantage here is that the pellets come in already measured increments, 50 grains or 30 grains. So for the shooter who uses pellets, measuring powder is a thing of the past. Measuring your charge is as simple as dropping 2 pellets down the barrel. 2 50-grain pellets equal a 100-grain powder charge. Now make sure that the darker end of the pellet goes into the barrel first, because this end has a special igniter charge that ensures complete ignition. Now, another thing to remember is that Pyrodex pellets come in both 45 and 50 calibers, so be sure to buy the right caliber pellet for your gun.
And most recently, a new breed of propellants known as clean shooting propellants have hit the market. The Pyrodex people have a brand called 777, and the Goex folks have one called Pinnacle, and there are several more out there. The advantage of these propellants is that they are not sulfur-based. Therefore, they are much easier to clean from the barrel than either black powder or Pyrodex. However, in my testing, I found these to be a little bit more finicky when it comes to accuracy, sometimes requiring cleaning after each shot, or performing best only when used with the new lighter charged 209 primers, especially designed for use in muzzleloading guns. There's one new clean shooting propellant that doesn't have any of these drawbacks. As a matter of fact, from an accuracy standpoint, it's the very best pelletized propellant that Chad and I have ever used. It's called IMR White Hots. Now, these work just like other pelletized propellants, meaning that each one equals 50 grains, and you just drop them down the barrel. They provide consistent muzzle velocities, and they shoot very clean. In short, White Hots give you the best of all worlds.
Lastly, there's one very important thing we cannot overemphasize. Never, never use modern smokeless powder in a muzzleloader. Modern smokeless powder is the kind of powder used in modern firearm cartridges and shotgun shells. Using this type of powder in a muzzleloader is extremely dangerous and can essentially turn your muzzleloader into a pipe bomb that can kill or injure the shooter or the bystanders. Don't ever make this mistake.
You're right, Chad, and that's very important advice. Don't you folks ever forget it. In the next segment, we'll be talking about the different kinds of projectiles for muzzleloaders, from the oldest, the round ball, to the newest, the power belt. we'll cover them all.